F1 update with Sasha Martinengo.
Formula One update brought to us compliments of Pirelli and Tiger Wheel and Tyre, and stand a chance to win a trip for two to the 2014 Formula One United States Grand Prix with Pirelli and Tiger Wheel and Tyre. So all you have to do is go into a Tiger Wheel and Tyre branch. You can either purchase a set of tyres, so you could buy two, or you could buy more, and the more tyres you buy, the more chance you have of winning with an automatic entry. But you can also enter via the SMS competition. But I'll give you all of those details next week. Let's look at the world of Formula One, the big news that broke out last night. And I must tell you, my good friend on Twitter, F1 Dirt, actually let me know this information about, at least about 10, 12 hours before it actually broke. And that, of course, is at Formula One Extra. Go and follow him. He's a hell of a good guy as well. He told me that the Caterham team had already been sold, and the man involved with it was none other than Christian Albers. Now, for those of you who follow Formula One, of course, you will know that Christian Albers used to race in Formula One. He used to race in DTM as well. But most of the 40, I think he did about 40, 45 races. He was with the Midland Spiker team in 2005 all the way through until 2007. Now, the man who put the deal together is none other than Colin Collis. Now, Colin Collis was also in charge of the Midland and Spiker team in those days. So, Colin Collis has become the advisor. Apparently, the deal has gone through. We're not entirely sure who the owner of the team is. Okay, I'm not entirely sure. But Christian Albers is taking over as the team principal, and he has taken the place of Cyril, who has now gone back, Cyril Abitabul, who has now gone back to Renault immediately. So, loads of great things, I think, positive things happening at Caterham. There are a couple of points that I haven't picked up on, but I'm just hoping that Colin Collis has made the right decision in purchasing the Caterham team. So the great news is, of course, they will be there this weekend at Silverstone. I spoke about this the other day. Jenson Button's future is not quite cemented at McLaren, and McLaren have come out and said they're in no rush as to decide whether or not to retain Jenson Button's services from next season. Basically, Ron Dennis, I think, is giving him the little bit of the hurry up and saying, rather you get yourself together, or, well, we might find somebody else. Felipe Massa has come out and said he considered switching to DTM before he secured his drive with Williams. I'm sure he's delighted that he got his drive with Williams. He's having a terrific championship so far. Very unlucky in Canada, but a great pole position at the Austrian Grand Prix. And finally, Mercedes' Toto Wolff got into an argument with Bernie Ecclestone over Formula One social media. Now, the one thing about Bernie Ecclestone is he monetizes everything. He does not give anything away for free. That's just the way that he works. However, if you look at the world of the social media, Facebook, everybody can have for free. Twitter, everybody can have for free. WhatsApp, everyone can have for free. And Bernie Ecclestone doesn't really seem to understand that. He has come out and says, sure, the social media model does not work yet as you cannot monetize it. But I can tell each of my sponsors that the audience seeing his logo is growing even though TV figures are down. Even the big players like Twitter have not worked out how to monetize it. But it's just a matter of time before we do that. That's rather cheeky from Mr. Ecclestone. We'll have to wait and see, but I think he's treading on very, very delicate water when it comes to monetizing social media for Formula One fans. Of course, this weekend is the British Grand Prix, one of my favorites, and, you got to put your money on the Mercedes. Although, let me tell you, if Renault gives Red Bull half a decent engine, one that doesn't knock itself out in the first couple of laps, watch out for the Red Bull. I think it has got the aerodynamics that'll work the best around the Silverstone circuit. Let's catch up with Pirelli and find out what we can expect from them this coming weekend.
Silverstone is a circuit that tests every aspect of performance, requiring downforce as well as a good chassis and engine with plenty of power and torque. Cars often accelerate through corners, placing heavy demands on the compound and structure. The combined lateral and longitudinal forces generate a very high level of stress. Silverstone requires an aerodynamic compromise capable of providing good downforce. This allows the cars to maintain high speeds through all the long corners. The tyre structure has to cope with the load of these intense sideways forces. A large part of this work falls on the shoulder of the tyre, which has to cope with energy loads in excess of 4 G. The track surface is quite abrasive, with some bumps in the braking areas as well as in certain fast sections. The high downforce ensures optimal grip between the tyre and the track. The aggressive surface, high downforce and long corners come together to provide a significant challenge for the tyres, with some of the highest levels of tyre degradation seen all year.
There we go. That's a look at the world of Formula One, brought to us compliments of Pirelli and Tiger Wheel and Tyre.
The F1 update with Sasha Martinengo.